Winter isn't just coming. Winter is here with the announcement that the Rippaverse has launched the pre-order campaign for Yaira number 2.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the
Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast and consider becoming a channel member. Yaira was my favorite release of the Rippaverse, and I am so excited because they have been teasing Yaira 2 for some time now. They even did this live stream where they showcased all of their upcoming releases for 2025, and it's a lot, and I am very excited for that. But the thing I got excited most for is Yaira number 2. It is written by Jen and Sylvia Soska, with artwork by Deborah Carita, and I am so stoked for it. I always say, ISOM 1 made me a fan, Alpha Core brought me back for more, and Yaira made me ride or die. And I am so excited of all the stuff Rippaverse is doing. ISOM 3 is coming out, The Great War of Separation, an Alpha Core sequel, the first ever collected work of the Rippaverse Trinity, which collects ISOM 1, Alpha Core 1, and Yaira. Not to mention, they're going to be releasing The Horseman as an ongoing series. So I am totally thrilled. But today, of all days, which is a good thing, not a bad thing, they have launched Yaira 2 with this impactful new trailer that they launched. So I'm just going to let you go to the Rippaverse's YouTube channel and watch it for yourself. But it is really cool and it gives out the story. One thing I will do is read directly from their website, rippaverse.com. Now, this is according to the Yaira 2 page. In this issue, Yaira's relentless pursuit of Atlantis unravels secrets she never imagined. Her life as Dr. Sally Rodell, a brilliant but controversial scientist, becomes increasingly entangled with her hidden identity as a powerful warrior from another world. As she delves deeper into the mysteries of the sunken city, Yaira faces not only external threats, but the haunting memories of a past she has tried to leave behind. Forces beyond comprehension stir in the shadows, and with every discovery, the stakes grow higher. What lies beneath Atlantis may hold the key to her future or her destruction. So, yeah, I am thoroughly excited for this. This is going to be one thrilling, epic sequel to the first Yaira. I am so excited. But what makes it even cooler are the covers. So up first we have cover A, which is done by Kanan White, a very frequent collaborator at the Rippaverse, and he also is sort of their art editor, and he does a good job, by the way. But this one, I really love it. It really taps into her Atlantean lore. You see her holding the trident and a sword. You've got the backdrop of the destroyed Atlantis behind her. This is really cool stuff right here. Cover B is by Joe Bennett, and this one is really cool. This is more of a traditionally styled comic book cover, one that you might see on a floppy. And Joe Bennett does a really good job. He captures the kind of terror that Yara is going through with her nightmares and seeing an old enemy from the first issue that she thought was dead. It looks really epic. I love the fire. It's very contrast compared to the cover A, which dealt with water. This one has the element of fire, which is something Yaira doesn't really seem to have control over. Cover C is by Will Conrad, and this one we see her standing more to the forefront. She's standing in front of the backdrop surrounded by ice and snow. So another element, albeit a water one, but just a different type, right? A different type of liquid. It's snow and ice, and she's got energy coming from her hands. This is definitely a more empowered sort of cover. And in the background, you see it like a building that's frozen. It looks really epic. Will Conrad did a fantastic job with this one. Cover D is by Mark Evans, and he is a more kind of realistic, more photorealistic artist who makes these covers that look pretty dang cool. And here we see Yaira is more in the background. Again, we have the ice coming from her hands, and up at the front is a character from the first one who you find has a connection to Yaira in the first one. I don't want to give too much away because it might give out spoilers, but needless to say, it's really cool. This character ends up becoming a trainee of Alpha Core, and maybe there are consequences to the events that happened in the first one. But nonetheless, this is an excellent cover. I'm having trouble deciding which one I want because all of these look really, really awesome. And who knows, maybe I'll end up with all four. Just another note on the Rippaverse, they have made it exciting to be a comic book fan, and I mean that very sincerely. It's not the Rippaverse exclusively. Certainly, we have Big Man Comics, who's doing really great work. We have Mike Barron, who's bringing Nexus back. We have John Delarose, who's delving into more sci-fi sort of realms, and a whole host of others that are continuing to bring us comic books on time and high quality. Are they perfect? Not all of them. Some of them certainly have issues, but that doesn't mean that I, as a comic book fan, can't enjoy them. And I'm very excited for everything that the Rippaverse is doing. I have a feeling that I'm going to be spending a lot more on comics this year than I did last year, and that's not an understatement. We are going to see so many epic returns to form. And I think one thing that people like Big Man Comics, like the Rippaverse, and Iconic Comics, which does Common America, one of my other favorite indie comic series, has taught customers and fans is that you don't have to settle for a book that's 3, sometimes 5 years late. You can get a book on time that's high quality. And like I said, sure, maybe they're imperfect, but I would like to see a comic book in my hands rather than just hope for one that's ultra high quality that is 5 years behind schedule. That's just a fact. I really want to read comics. I want them in my hands. And right now, DC and Marvel, they're not making comic books like the ones that are behind me anymore. They're all full of political agendas, they're full of identity politics, and it's so sad because even great writers like Scott Snyder are being pulled into that with his absolute Batman, where Bruce Wayne can't be a rich man who stands up against corruption. Now he's got to be blue collar and just beat people with an axe and chop off their hands, right? That's not Batman. That's just another version of the Punisher. I don't know why there are people so desperate to make the Batman more like the Punisher, but we kind of started to see this around the 2010s and even going into the original DCEU. Everyone just wanted Batman to be the Punisher. What makes Batman unique compared to other vigilantes is his ability to see that life is precious, even a bad life. They should be locked up and the court should decide their fate, but not in the case where Batman is judge, jury, and executioner. And I really hope, and it seems like it's going to go this way, that the Rippaverse is going to continue with their lore. Their characters, sure, they'll grow, they'll change over time, like characters do. That's called character development. But the core of who they are, of who they're meant to be, is going to stay the same. At least it seems that way for now. And as long as it stays that way, the Rippaverse has a returning customer in me. And I am so excited to see what is coming, including Yaira #2. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment and tell me what you think, and tell me which Rippaverse release you are more excited for. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. If you would be so kind, head on over to my website, StudioJakeMedia.com. I've got reviews of all the Rippaverse releases, as well as other comic books, anime, television, films, and so much more. Best of all, it's free and there are no ads. You can just sign up with your email or in the WordPress app, and I guarantee you will not be disappointed. If you want to support the work that I'm doing, head on over to my locals community. The link is in the description of the video. You can sign up for a monthly subscription, or you can send tips to the articles that I post there. And I've even got some exclusive ones that are just for my locals community, as well as my short stories, which I publish exclusively to my locals. Speaking of stories, I've got some novels of my own. I've got Cacophony, a supernatural thriller about a group of demons that are attacking a small town in Texas, but a group of angels are sent by God to stop them. Check it out, especially if you like supernatural battles and paranormal activities. Next, we have the Seven Royals trilogy. Book 1, All Good Things, and Book 2, Breaking the Stars. They are about a group of your favorite fairy tale characters who have to come together to stop an evil mage and his dark army from conquering their lands. And it's not as easy as it's out to be. And book 3 is on its way. I'm working on it now, and I'll have an announcement about that very soon. Last but certainly not least, we have Blessed Child. This book follows an elf princess who discovers that she is pregnant with her deceased husband's baby, and he happened to be a human, and now it turns out the baby is human, sending her elf kingdom into turmoil. Her father, the king of the elves, hires a knight to be her bodyguard. He's a human and he's disgraced, but he's on the path of redemption, and the two form an unlikely friendship. So check one or all of these books out. They're all available on Amazon. I hope you buy one or all of them and leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.
'Cause I've been living